Hi there, this is Pastor Mike. Welcome to Perkstream for January 20th, 2021. Would you answer a question for yourself? How do I measure my commitments? Maybe you measure them by time, the number of hours or minutes you devote to something. Maybe you measure it by people, as in the number of people you are connected to, who are following you, who you follow, or maybe who you just stay in touch with. And of course, you could use money. The more money you spend, the more committed you are to something. The psalmist in Psalm 119 would suggest that his commitment is measured by the law of the Lord. And here's what he says starting at verse 57. You are my portion, Lord. I have promised to obey your words. I have sought your face with all my heart. Be gracious to me according to your promise. I have considered my ways and I have turned my steps to your statutes. The psalmist is measuring his commitment by the amount of time and energy he gives to obeying the Lord. And he does this because he says, the Lord is my portion. The Lord is my satisfaction. The Lord is everything I need. That's quite an act of commitment. And it leads us possibly to consider this. How do I find my satisfaction in the Lord? How do I find that the Lord is my portion and that he is all that I need? Maybe our prayer can be this: Lord, I want to be committed to obeying your word because everything about your word gives me life. And regardless of the circumstances, regardless of the situation, and regardless of the time of day, I will give myself to obeying your word. And this is a commitment that will take time. And we could probably do it with people. And it might affect how we spend our money. But it is a commitment that pays off in an everlasting benefit.
The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside quiet waters. He restores my soul. He guides me in the paths of righteousness, for his name's sake. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I fear no evil. For you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You have anointed my head with oil. My cup overflows. Surely goodness and loving kindness will follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever.
This last Sunday, we started a new sermon series called Reboot. In these times of uncertainty, of anger, of doubt, and fear, how do we make sure that we are not conforming to the image of this world, to the patterns of this world, the patterns of fear and doubt that are generated, and that a person who is living in the hope of Christ does not have to live into? What actions can we take to make sure that we don't live into them? As you can guess, we're using Romans 12:2 as our starting point. Do not conform to the patterns of this world, but be transformed in the renewing of your minds. And as we allow our minds to be transformed by Christ, as we participate and take action to allow our minds to be formed by Christ, we can live at peace, we can live in joy. We don't have to like the circumstances, but we can live into them with a different philosophy and a different attitude. Last week, we talked about how when we take and live into God's design for rest, he adds life to our living. This week, we're going to talk about one more way that we can have our minds transformed. It's nothing new. It's something that we've talked about a whole lot. In fact, the challenge here is going to be that Jesus' teaching on this can take up less than half a page in your standard book. And that's what he had to say on the matter. So I'm going to invite you to this Sunday. We're going to be talking from Luke chapter 11. I'm going to ask that you also be praying for the elders as they now consider names to fill a couple of our elder spots. We have 2 names that we have narrowed down to and that we'll be bringing to the congregation shortly. So please pray for the elders and their discernment, and please pray for these 2 people as they make determinations about letting their name stand to serve. And as they make that determination, when we bring their names forward for consideration by you, the congregation, that you discern with us that they would make great additions to the elder team. I hope that you have a great rest of your week. God bless you on this inauguration day. I pray that you, being rooted and grounded in love, will have the full measure of love just pouring out of you as God has poured it into your heart. God bless you. Take care.